The Shadowed Prophetess. In the quiet village of Umandi, life revolved around the church. Every Sunday, villagers dressed in their best attire and flocked to hear Prophetess Sarala speak. Known for her eloquent sermons and uncanny ability to predict events, she was hailed as a messenger of God. Villagers sought her counsel for every matter, from marriages to harvests, and trusted her unconditionally. Sarala, with her piercing gaze and magnetic presence, held the village in the palm of her hand. But Sarala was no ordinary prophetess. Behind her pious facade lay a darkness known only to her. Her visions and miracles were not from divine sources but from a pact she had made with a malevolent spirit. At the edge of her backyard, hidden by dense bushes, was the entrance to a secret cave. Within the cave, Sarala performed rituals to gain power, wealth, and influence. The villagers' offerings only added to her growing treasure, and their faith strengthened her control. Elder Adan's suspicion. Among the congregation was Elder Adan, an old man who had lived in Umandi all his life. Though quiet and humble, Adan was observant and wise. He had watched Sarala rise to prominence over the years and had always felt an unease around her. Her predictions seemed too convenient, her demands for offerings too insistent. Still, he had no evidence to support his doubts. One evening, while walking near Sarala's home, Adan noticed her slipping out of her house under the cover of darkness. Curiosity piqued, he followed her at a distance, careful not to make a sound. To his surprise, she headed toward the dense bushes behind her yard. Hidden among the leaves, Adan watched as Sarala pushed aside a rock, revealing the entrance to a cave. Adan waited until she disappeared inside before creeping closer. From within the cave, he heard strange chants and saw flickering lights. Peering inside, he witnessed Sarala kneeling before a crude altar, surrounded by eerie carvings and objects he could not identify. She was speaking in a guttural language, and a cold, unnatural wind seemed to emanate from the cave. Shaken, Adan retreated, determined to expose the truth. But he knew he had to proceed carefully. Sarala's influence over the villagers was immense. Gathering evidence. Over the next few days, Adan observed Sarala closely. He noticed how her predictions often played on the villagers' fears and desires. He saw how she manipulated their faith to extract more offerings, promising blessings in return. Late at night, he returned to the cave and collected items from the altar, charms, bones, and symbols that had no place in a house of God. Adan also spoke quietly to a few trusted villagers, sharing his concerns. Though hesitant at first, they agreed to support him when the time came. Together, they planned to confront Sarala during the Sunday service, when the entire village would be present. The confrontation. Sunday arrived, and the church was packed as usual. Sarala stood at the pulpit, delivering a passionate sermon about faith and sacrifice. Her voice filled the room, commanding attention and awe. When she finished, Adan rose from his seat and walked to the front of the church. The congregation fell silent, surprised by the interruption. Adan, though frail, stood tall and firm. "My brothers and sisters," he began, "I have come to speak the truth that has been hidden from us for far too long." Sarala's smile faltered. "Elder Adan," she said, her voice calm but strained, "what is the meaning of this?" Adan turned to the crowd. "For years, we have placed our faith in this woman, believing her to be a messenger of God. But I tell you now, she is no such thing. Her powers come not from heaven, but from darkness." Gasps filled the room. Sarala laughed nervously. "These are baseless accusations," she said. "Elder Adan, you insult the house of God." But Adan was undeterred. He reached into his bag and pulled out the items he had taken from the cave. "These," he said, holding them up, "are the tools of her deception. I found them in a cave behind her home, where she performs rituals to a dark spirit." The congregation murmured, their faith in Sarala beginning to waver. A few villagers who had helped Adan stepped forward, vouching for his story. Faced with mounting pressure, Sarala's composure crumbled. She tried to deny the accusations, but her protests only fueled the villagers' suspicion. Finally, under the weight of the collective scrutiny, she broke down and confessed. She admitted to seeking power through dark means and using her influence to exploit the villagers. Her tearful pleas for forgiveness fell on deaf ears. The aftermath. Sarala was banished from the village, her once loyal followers now her harshest critics. the villagers cleansed the church and the cave, holding a week of prayers to rid their community of the darkness that had taken root. Adan, though reluctant to take credit, was hailed as a hero for exposing the truth. In the months that followed, the village rebuilt its faith, this time with a focus on humility and accountability. No one person was given unchecked power, and the lessons of Sarala's downfall were passed down through generations. Moral lessons. 1. Deception cannot last forever. Lies and evil deeds will eventually be revealed, no matter how carefully they are hidden. 2. Faith should not be blind. Always question and seek the truth, even from those in positions of authority. 3. Stand up for what is right. One person's courage can inspire change and protect a community from harm. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Sax House Comedy TV for quality videos. Have a great day.